You're watching Daybreak on Trust TV. It's time to get interactive. This is a part of the program where we give you an opportunity to be a part of the conversation. Share your opinions, share your thoughts, share your experience with us regarding today's conversation. And I did say before the break, we're going to talk about the implementation of the new tariff regime. And we're already hearing the ripples or feeling the ripples from different parts of the country where Nigerians are decrying and bemoaning this implementation that looks like a huge departure from what the NERC and the federal government wants Nigerians to believe is supposed to be the cost-reflective tariff that they're supposed to pay. Remember the huge identification of this particular class of people on Band A who supposedly get 20 hours of power a day and who are supposed to now pay this 240% increment? Well, apparently, even people that get at least 3 to 4 hours of power are also being charged that percentage in the new tariff regime. That is the report we're getting from different parts of the country as regard to this discrepancy when it comes to billing. So call in, let us have your take, let us have your experience regarding this particular development, or whether or not there has been any change that you have noted since the announcement of the new tariff hike. And you were just sharing an interesting story about this particular development.
Yeah, as it affects one of us who stays in an estate, right inside that estate you have two people categorized into different bands, one in Band C and the other one in Band A. You know,
how does that work exactly? I would imagine they share the same power line.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, the same estates from the same feeder, you know, doing everything from the same source, but categorized as two different band customers. You know, that beats one imagination. And the stories, you know, reflect across board. You know of places by their very nature enjoy more power than the others. They are categorized as B, and then you go to a local place where people are trying to survive and somehow they are on Band A.
And I've also seen the various discos put out the various categorizations of the bands. And I saw, for instance, the Yola Electricity Distribution Company, areas that I'm well familiar with, that I've never in their history ever had 20 hours. And I saw them categorized as Band A.
That's right.
And I couldn't help but scratch my head and wonder, when did this sudden change happen? So it doesn't look fair. And the NERC, as well as the Minister of Power, who was quite an ardent supporter of this new tariff regime, is talking about punitive measures taken against these discos. If they don't give you 20 hours of power and they charge you for 20 hours of power, or they charge you in Band A, there would definitely be measures taken against them. I don't think so, because over the past 1 week, we've been talking about this as a big national discourse, and Nigerians have already been crying about how they've never seen 20 hours of power supply, and yet this classification has put them in that band. That means that they have to pay more. So let's have your take on this one. For me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Seriously, especially if you're within the same locality and in the same estate, and then your neighbor is paying, you know, Band C and you're paying Band A. It doesn't, doesn't add up.
I think some of the concerns that have also come to the fore is as much as the NERC, the regulatory arm, and the minister appear to suggest that they are going to carry out this strict monitoring to ensure that they are compliant. Do they even have the capacity to ensure compliance across board? We're talking about 36 states. We're talking about more cities. I mean, in the whole of Lagos, for instance, you could find up to 10 areas where probably you have them categorized as Band A. So where are you going to start, you know, carrying out this monitoring? Do you have the technology, you know, to harvest these complaints and ensure that people are not being shortchanged? Because what we see is that the discourse are happy, you know, to implement this to the level or to the extent that implementations were even carried out the very day of the announcement. There were no rooms, you know, for gradual adjustment or even post-dated adjustment, as the case may be. You know, and where these complaints have come up, we are not seeing the same swiftness, you know, that were there before you automatically categorize people in certain bands. Some of them said they were technology hitches that wrongly categorized. I mean, but technologies do not operate on their own. They operate with the help or the input people. So we would like to understand what your experiences are, and I understand we have first caller this morning. Good morning, your name and where you're calling from.
Give it another try. I understand that we've lost that connection. Try again. We have two options for you on the screen there. Rules of engagement. Another reminder that you should please turn down the volume of your TV set while calling in. We'd love to have an uninterrupted conversation so that we can get right to the point and understand your perspective, your experience with regards to the implementation of this new tariff regime. As we've come to understand it now, the discrepancies are quite disturbing. Not many people enjoying the 20 hours of power a day, but a lot of people being charged under that particular categorization. It is not only fair, it is borderline criminal to charge people these new rates when they are not getting that service that has been promised. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the program. State your name, please, and your location. Okay, another drop call. You know what we say about the service providers? This is emblematic of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have your airtime, but you can't even make, calls. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program. State your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Afolabi. I'm calling from Niger State.
Afolabi from Niger. Good morning, Afolabi. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir. My own contribution to this topic of today: why do you want to categorize some over some? Are we not Nigerians? If some are to enjoy more than some, the others are they not Nigerians?
All right.
So very soon we soon see whereby the government will put on that this road should be for the elite, this road should be for the poor, and this is how it can continue. They start putting boundaries between the rich and the poor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let it that aside. They said Band B will enjoy 4 hours less. From 4 hours later. So what about somebody that is giving life for just 30 minutes and on to the next day? What band do we call that? And being charged on Band B. So how do we read that band?
All right.
So all this band or no band is just a means of cheating. It's just sucking Nigerians. Why do you have to even put the ban from the beginning? I grew up in Nigeria here, whereby a common organizer, use electricity to put on this thing for tariff. You can never find that again. Not even Nigeria, not even Nigeria. All over the country, you can't even organize using electricity. There is generator now, and you get charged for that. So the issue of this Band A, Band B, is just an English to these people.
Yeah.
The government has to just come in and do the business, not supporting that the electricity has to go high.
Afolabi, I understand your frustration, and we really appreciate you for calling in. We had this conversation last week about this particular development. We also had one of the stakeholders speak to us, and I said, why are we not focusing on generating more? Because I don't think with 4,000, even at max capacity, with 4,000 we can guarantee the entire country 20 hours of power supply. And if we're not able to guarantee that, then it means we're discriminating. And this is Afolabi's point exactly. What if I want to be on Band A? What if I want to enjoy power supply for 20 hours a day? That means I don't get to choose, because it's the discos that decide, oh, these people are going to be on Band A. And it's as if we're just saying that, there are some people that will get special treatment and get 20 hours of power supply. And he's right to assume that one day we're going to wake up and realize that only people with a certain brand of car are allowed to ply a particular road. Because, I don't know. It just, it's not adding up at all.
While there are pros and cons about stratifications as the case may be, because it will also be unfair that you have people who do less than 4 or 10 hours and you charge them proportionate.
It's not estimated billing, by the way. It's not postpaid. It's prepaid.
It's prepaid.
So they have to go and buy it, but not enjoy the 20 hours.
So while that has its advantage, some of these questions that you have raised and I'm sure a lot of other callers would raise, just germane. In other countries, the question of band is not a function of how much supply you get. It's just a way of saying let the rich pay more.
Yeah, exactly.
And the poor pay less. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Can you please turn down the volume of your TV set?
Okay. My name is.
Good morning, John. Where are you calling from?
My name is Henry Ngozi Paul. Good to see you, Sonny.
Good morning, Ngozi.
Yeah. So, I want to say a word about this. I actually think this is pure fraud, right? Because I don't understand why you bill people. I bought a unit for. They said I'm in Band B, so I bought a 5,000 unit, and I got 20 units. Yeah.
5,000 what?
Now, yes, 5,000 naira for just 20 units, and you tell me I'm in Band B, and I have less than 4 hours power a day. I mean, this is fraud. I wonder why people are not looking at this. Somebody should sue, like on this, because it's getting out of hand. A government cannot continue lying to its people, broad daylight. You're doing things that you say this and you're doing another thing, and everybody's is like turning, like looking the other way. It's not right. It's really not right.
Yeah.
Things should be done the right way. If you want me to pay more, give me more services. It is that simple.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. This is my time. Good to see you, Sonny, my brother.
Thank you so much for calling. And that's a germane point. There's no way to counter an argument like that. If people are paying for it, they should get value for their money.
Absolutely.
They should get value for their money. And more often than not, the government is quick to pass judgment on Nigerians mismanaging power or things like that. But when Nigerians get shortchanged, when the services are not good, do we see these companies pay the price? Not
Absolutely
really.
Not.
Let's speak to our next caller then. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Welcome to the program. Your name, please, and where you're calling from.
My name is Francis Tangod.
Francis.
Calling you from Abuja.
Thank God from Abuja. Go ahead, Mr. Francis.
Yeah, first of all, I have a question. Because of recently, a friend sent me the link to check which band I'm on.
That's
So
right.
when I checked, I discovered I'm on band B. And on that very link, AEDC link, it states that band B are entitled to have light from 16 to 19 hours a day.
That's right.
Now, I'm just hearing you on TV now saying band B is 4 hours light or more,
No,
or 4 to 1 hours. I don't even get it.
That's not correct. It's 16 to 19 hours.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, in my place where I stay in Kuje, I stay in Kuje. Behind customary court here in Kuje.
All right, go ahead with your point, please.
Now, if they give us light here, they bring it at night, and let's say 3, 4 a.m., they take it. And in a week, they can give us that like 3 times in a whole week.
Right.
And I'm in Bambi. So that means all this while I've been defrauded by the AEDC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
I agree with you, I mean, what you are saying is basically the experience of Nigerian customers across board. Now, the irony is, if you're on band B to band E, you're basically on the same payment rate. It's the same 65, 68 naira per kilowatt hour of power. So, but what varies with that categorization is how much light you're supposed to get. So in your case and by your own narrative, basically that should be around band E, if there is any such thing, but the prices do not change from band B to band E. What changes basically is the amount of time or power you get per time.
But I think the bane of the conversation is there is no guarantee that you're going to get it. Because basically we're talking about 3 or 4 times a week, and this is supposed to be on a daily basis. I think someone is on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. My name is Balogun Wadabojo Samuel. I'm calling from Lagos.
Mr. Balogun from Lagos. Good to hear from you.
Yes. Please, we discovered this morning, this recent government implementation and disco implementation on the issue of tariff being increased.
Yes.
And
sorry, just to get a confirmation, Mr. Balogun, are you on AEDC or Ikeja Electric?
I'm on Ikeja Electric.
All right, go ahead.
So, like in the location where I am now in K2, we are on band D. So I discovered that even though when I checked last on the 2nd of April, I was giving 44 units based on 3,000 naira.
Okay.
Previously, it was more than that. But I discovered we are now moved to band B. But the most thing that baffled me is that most of the hours they implemented that we should be using was not accredited to us. We have to be fighting them to say you can't be telling us orally the service we want to render and we are not seeing it physically. Where are we going? I have a lot of foodstuffs in my fridge. Now, those things upon that we don't even have money, those things is gone. I'm running at a loss. So where are we going? And one thing I discovered about the Ikeja Disco is that most of this equipment they give to us then that I'm still seeing on ground then. I see what I'm still seeing on ground by now. Right. There was no improvement. And this thing cannot work. You can't be using old, outdated equipment to be giving us a new tariff. Why you cannot be able to upgrade to that standard? We are showing to every citizen of Nigeria. Where is that being done? I'm calling on official now. They should please take it to where we are before. Right. Let them look for a finance to have a good equipment or bring themselves before they can be able to implement this. Yeah. If not, extortion is what I'm seeing now from us. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah. Good morning, all.
Good morning, Mr. Balogun. Thank you so much for that point. And I think he just hit the nail on the head, just like many of our callers this morning. It's akin to checking into a hotel, and you're supposed to check out by 12 noon. And they come at 9 a.m. and they're asking you to check out. But the time is not... So you're not really
probably paying for a deluxe. And
and then getting a standard room. So Nigerians are not getting a fair shake here. They're not getting... value for money. And the government is not looking like the regulator that we expect it to be, to call these discos to order. Because in the minister's words, he said there will be punishment if they don't give you 20 hours after charging you 20 hours.
So the question really is,
power supply.
As a minister and as regulators of the industry, do you even have the capacity to monitor how much they do? And these are the questions that people like Balogun are raising. You have not upgraded infrastructures in centuries, but you want to increase tariff.
I think someone is.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning.
Thank you.
This is Honorable Ruben calling from Adipo, London.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable. Go ahead.
The only London in Africa.
Right.
Thank you, Honorable. Let's have your view.
Thank you. Thank you. I wonder why we are not making progress here. Because we should be talking of moving ahead instead of coming backward. Why am I saying this? Look at the supply of networks. The network that the rich people are enjoying, a common man is as well enjoying it on the same pay at the same level. So if the power sector in Nigeria would want to normalize everything and make it easy for everybody, it should be done in that perspective. Let them give us prepaid meters. You slot in your card, you use your line as you want. Instead of categorizing it at the expense of other people. Other people are getting like 16 to 19 hours. Others are getting it more. Others are getting it less. We are paying this money. So instead of categorizing it, they should take it digitally. So that you buy your card, you use it as you want. If your card expires, you will be watching your neighbor using line. Instead of saying hiking the tariff and whatever they are saying now, I think they're not helping us. They should give us prepaid meters so that we'll be using according to our strength. You buy a card of 100 naira, just like my phone. I am using it at my own expense.
Yeah.
If I want to use it for nothing, it's still on my own.
Yeah.
If you buy a card of 1,000 naira, you are using as you feel like using it. So I think instead of categorizing it like that, they should give us prepaid meters. That is my take on it.
Thank you very
so
much, Honorable Ben from my country home, the only London in Nigeria, as he puts it. Unfortunately, the infrastructure in that little London, it's one that is a far distance.
The London
from
is
the
in the
image
mind.
of London.
The London is in the mind.
Okay, if you say so. But the points you made, Honorable Bond, are taken and very germane. And one is the fact that the issue of supply should be constant. It's uptake that should vary, but supply should be basic and constant. And that I mean, the concern you raised around prepaid meters.
Pay as you go.
Is also germane, because in the face of all of this extortion, lie those who do not have meters, these guys could just jump on with any amount and continue to punish them for darkness, as the case may be.
Let's take a look at our WhatsApp page. A quick reminder, you can also send us a message via WhatsApp. This one says, I live in Suleja PDP quarters. I occupy a 2-bedroom flat, and I pay 30,000 naira and 34,000 naira every month, while there are some flats that pay less, and they are on the same 33 kVA line. Why? Even when I requested for a meter, they said I should hold on because they want to increase the cost of meter. It says his name is Henry Nwabusi. Nwabusi. And I think he said, even when the light NEPA gives, I'm sure NEPA doesn't exist anymore, but he said it's not on 24 hours as they claim. Their bills are submitted at the middle of the month in Suleja. Then I asked, how do they calculate for the rest of us, for the other days? When
they just estimate.
When it comes to estimated billing, that is outright 419, as we like to describe it, because there's no justification for it. They just estimate and they decide the number at the end of the day.
All right. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Morning. My name is Yakubu. I'm calling from Jos.
Thank you very much, Yakubu from Jos. Please go ahead.
The issue of this tariff. This electricity tariff, they just want to bring confusion to the nation. When you look at it critically, people are battling with feeding. A bag of rice, almost 70,000. A loaf of bread, 2,000 plus. Now look at what is happening to NEPA again. For example, the civil servants, how much are they earning in a month? As they don't afford all this. Look at their daily bread. Look at their medicals. Look at their children in the school. Now they have removed the oil subsidy and they want to remove the electricity subsidy. What are the ordinary Nigerians enjoying in Nigeria? What? Everywhere insecurity. Can you imagine? They did not take it to the National Assembly. They just do it just on their own. So my advice to them, they should be very careful and revert it back. Otherwise, Nigerians are at the high tension. So if they leave it like that, anything can happen to the whole nation. It's not good. They should think twice. People are suffering.
Yeah.
Now somebody who is a pensioner, who is receiving maybe 25,000, 30,000 at the end of the month, it's not enough for him to feed himself, talk about his family. Look at the electricity bill. Which one are we going to do within the problem? Look at it. But to me, my own solution is they should, one, revert it back. Secondly, let them take it to the National Assembly for deliberation. We have leaders, we have lawmakers. How can one sector just stood up within just decide on their own without considering the hardship that we are in now? They just want to triple it. Now, the federal government did not triple the salary of the civil servant. The 30,000 some of the state are unable to even pay it. How would you expect these people to survive? For goodness sake. This is what the problem was.
Thank you so much for adding your voice to the conversation. I appreciate your views on this one. And that's where the issue of alignment comes in. This should have been a conversation after you have improved the minimum wage. And then you can charge people more when they have more to spend or something like that. This one is coming in from Kaduna. He says, please, what about the provision of meters? We're paying for darkness. Samson from Kagoro in Kaduna State.
You know, Samson, your story it's similar to everyone.
We're very good at putting the cart before the horse.
Abdul, I was doing some research and analysis around all of this, and you'll be shocked that we are paying more for electricity in as against what the average South African or Canadian pays. Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. Are you still there? I think we can move to the next caller. Okay. Someone is joining the conversation now. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
You have to turn down the volume of your TV set. Good morning.
Turn down the volume of your TV set, please.
Yes. That is done.
Okay.
I'm calling from Taraba State, please.
Your name?
My name, I'm Samuel from Taraba State.
Thank you, Samuel from Taraba. Are you calling from Jaringo or Wukari or where?
Well, I'm from Jalingo. Jalingo is the headquarters.
All right,
Anyway.
Right, okay. Go ahead, Samuel.
I'm calling from Gembu in Taraba.
Oh, from Gembu? Right. Okay,
Mambila.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, this issue, I'm feeling so much. Others are affecting so much like electricity because we don't pay and all the like. That I just want to observe that these are things that the government is supposed to do for the masses and let the masses survive. Things like this are happening. It's very, very unfortunate. I don't feel very happy about the way government is feeling of this. In fact, like the Senate and all this, who are well-to-do people, they don't suffer these things. But yet they give more emphasis on these people and want to spend the hoops of money on these people instead of looking at the masses who are dying like rats. In fact, to me, I'm not happy about it at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. And you have to agree with him.
Yeah.
There are people in the high society, people, the elite, who if you don't give them 24 hours a day, they're going to provide it for themselves.
That's right.
They can install their solar panels, they can buy the diesel, they can afford to because they're on big salary or they are the richest people in our society. However, we still see them being prioritized. They're the ones on the band A.
And that is the interesting dynamics about that whole conversation around only 15% of our populations will be affected. But what happens to the manufacturer who said, if I have to produce a loaf of bread at 225 kilowatt hour per 25 naira per kilowatt hour, I will sell that bread for you at 2,200. So we are denying pass-on effects of some of these things.
Some are saying that you're saving the businesses the cost because it is cheaper to pay the new tariff than to buy diesel. But I said I don't think that that is enough justification for this
for you to raise
particular
prices.
hike. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Welcome to
My name is Thomas. I am calling from Benue State.
Thomas from Benue State.
Where in Benue in particular, Mr. Thomas?
I'm Makodi.
Thank you. Okay. Go ahead and make your point.
I greet the presenters and guests in the studio.
Thank you.
It is unfortunate. I have realized that the rich in Nigeria has ganged up against the poor. I am putting it that way. For a very long time, Nigerians, we have been paying for darkness. Look at the high cost of everything, goods and services in Nigeria. And this present administration promised us that they are going to make things very easy for the citizens. But we have realized that it is the poor that bears the brunt of this administration and the past administration. There is no justification for hike in electricity tariff at this present economic crisis where every family is crying in Nigeria. Sincerely, I had in mind that this present administration would have revoked the licenses given to these power providers They have failed us. They have failed us. Sincerely, they have failed us. I don't know how to put it. They should revise this. Sometimes ago, I learned that former President Buhari wrote out prepaid meters to be given to electricity consumers. But to my utmost, but to my greatest surprise, I discovered that these prepaid meters were not given to electricity consumers. They are being hoarded. They are being sold by the electricity providers, to the extent now that a prepaid meter is sold between 85,000 naira to 90 to 100,000 naira. Which poor family can be able to provide this amount of money in order to get a prepaid meter? And what perimeter are these power electricity providers, what perimeter are they using to charge to build those people who do not, families and houses that do not have prepaid meters? I think the poor is at the receiving end. And I am paying President Tinubu to revise, to make a cancellation of this electricity hike tariff at this present time when everybody is crying in Nigeria. Do they want to kill us? Do they want all of us to die? If all of us die, which people are they going to rule? It is unfortunate. They should not provoke the Nigerians. We are getting tired. We are being frustrated. We are being oppressed. This hike in electricity tariff at this particular time is obnoxious. It's inhuman. It is unfair. That is my contribution this morning. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sam from Benue. We really do appreciate your contribution. And I think, on that high note, we would have to, end the phone line conversation. But just before we go, let's take a look at this one coming in from our WhatsApp platform. I reside in Gombe, federal low-cost area. Please, how do I find out which category I belong to? Okay. And you asked about the education and the enlightenment.
That is not happening.
The power distribution company is supposed to enlighten its users, its customers, about these particular changes. They're supposed to go on a tour, community to community. This is what has changed. This is what you need to know. This is what you need to know. I know the media can help amplify it, but it just tells you that, they're willing to take advantage of this gap in terms of the information, because most people, Sunday, to be honest, are being charged on the estimated billing process, because we know most Nigerians are not metered.
That's right.
And that in itself sometimes is good for the business as distribution companies, because they can report some of these losses.
For the corruption that is endemic in that system.
So,
and until we, collectively take care of this problem, we are just not addressing the challenges of the power sectors. Unfortunately, this is where we have to anchor on the phone-in segment. It has been very enlightening with people calling from every part of this country and expressing their concerns around what appears to be daylight robbery or paying for darkness, as some of us have aptly described our situations. We'll take a quick breather. When we return, we'll go straight into our conversation segment.